Nah, nah. But we know another doctor. Yeah, we know another doctor. Yeah, and his name is Jesus. What you say? Yeah, we know another doctor. We know the doctor. He didn't want. Yeah, what others meant for bad, God specializes in turning it into good. Have mercy, Lord. Don't y'all get me started here to deny it. Okay. Let's start at verse 19. Oh, Lord Jesus. Have mercy, Lord. Sound like goose bumping marching soldiers up in here. Mark 11 and 19. And whenever evening came, they would go out into the city. Woo! Lord have mercy. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Early in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree withered from the root up. Then Peter remembered and said, Master, look, the fig tree that you cursed is withered. What did you expect? Yeah, Jesus replied to them, have faith in God. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. I assure you that if you say to this mountain, yeah, 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 have mercy. You mean to tell me that God put a conversation in you that the mountain understand? When is the mountain known to interpret human language? Be lifted up and thrown. No, no. Make sure I read this. Be lifted up. I ain't going to throw you, but you throw yourself into the sea. And does not doubt in his heart that the mountain going to respond to what he said, but believe what he said would happen. It will be done not for him that's standing there saying it, but for them that believe it. All right, that's enough right there. That's enough right there. Have mercy, Lord. You may be seated. Let me give you the conquest of the history of what happened. Jesus goes into, he sees a fig tree, and when he goes and sees the fig tree don't have nothing but leaves only. And God said to it, from this day forward, since you ain't producing nothing, I'm breaking you off from getting my nutrients from the ground and getting my sunshine and getting my radiance. And I'm cutting you off, period. So from this time forward, you finna die. Peter comes on later on and said, Master, you remember the fig tree that you cursed? It done withered. He said, no, you missed it. He said, you 3 days late. It didn't wither today just because we passed by. It started drying up when I said it. Have mercy, Lord. You got to understand that when the master says something, it don't take 3 or 4 days for it to happen. Usually when you read the Bible and Jesus told somebody, you heal, usually took 2 weeks. When somebody touched Jesus' garment and they were bleeding, generally it took them 3 days for it to dry up. When Peter's mother-in-law had a fever and Jesus said, be gone, where it took 2 or 3 days for the temperature to drop. And they had to get a thermometer and keep on checking it. Why do you think when God says something to you, how long it's supposed to take? You are not used to dealing with an immediate God. God says it happens immediately. I just come out the room. We just finished praying earlier. I was talking to Jeremy and his wife. And coming out the room, I heard something say, I'm a living testimony. Having already, not next week, not next month. And when things try to go against the plan of God, it's a fight to try to stop it. But you can't stop God. Who's going to stop it? If he say, I'm the resurrection and the life, who's going to stop him from getting up when he take his own life? He said, can't nobody take it. I'll lay it down and pick it up again. Who's going to stop him from getting up? So he says, you got, Master, it withered, it died. And Jesus says, have faith in God. That's what the HCSB say. But that ain't what it's saying. The Greek technical phrase says, don't have faith in God, have the God kind of faith. God dog, somebody should have started running right there. He said, have the God kind of faith. You can have faith in anybody. See, that's reason people don't get to where they need to be, because their transition is not in themselves, it's in somebody else. It's all right to have faith in Reb, but that ain't what you need. You don't need faith in Reb. You need the God kind of faith. That's why we got these pastor-sick churches. That when the pastor ain't there, everything die. Talk back to me if you can. If I just talk to mama, well, keep living. When mama gone, who you gonna talk to? You better try to develop a relationship with God. So he says, have the God kind of faith. In other words, if your faith ain't like God, then it ain't really much worth having. You got to believe like God believed. That when he spoke something, it happened. See, your faith got to be so strong that if your daughter is sick and she dying, and you go to somebody, and the somebody you go to say, I'm on my way. I ain't just traveling, but something to happen. And when something happens, it don't matter who get in the way. It ain't going to stop it from happening. The master's on his way to do his thing because of the God kind of faith. When you got the God kind of faith, it don't matter what nobody else say. They said, she dead. He said, that's y'all talking. Y'all don't know who I am. When I talk, whatever you say don't mean nothing no way. How death gonna control the resurrection and the life? Get up whatever I tell it to get up. Move whatever I tell it to move. Heal whatever I wanted to heal. That's the God kind of faith. What did God say? God said you got to speak, you got to pray some things and then not be surprised when it happens. The reason you surprised what you prayed for and it happened, the reason you surprised, you don't believe it no way. Guess what? What? She up now. What did you pray for, to die? She's supposed to get up. She's supposed to get that job. It's hers. In Jesus. I'm sure that if I was God, and I'm glad I'm not God, because a lot of folk would be dead. A lot of folk alive would be dead. A lot of folk alive, dead would be alive. I'm glad I'm not God. But if I was God, every now and then, I'd just make a trip to your house. And knock on your door and tell you, no, don't clean up. Don't go wash the dishes. Don't go make up the bed. Don't go sweeping. Don't go put nothing under the couch and all that type of stuff. I just stopped by to tell you one thing. You know, you're going to talk proper. What is it, my Lord? That's what you're going to say. This is what he's going to say to you. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? Mountains ain't gonna move unless you tell them, get out of there. Some stuff you can't ask for it to leave. You gonna tell it, get your. Don't get scared. I ain't finna say what you say. You gonna get up out of here. I had a house, and I don't know. I ain't into the law. All I know is mine. They say the law is written for the renter, but the house is mine. And when I show up, 6'6", 300-something pounds, I'm the law. And I ain't finna ask you to do something. It's finna move. Some heels gonna click. Now, I might go to jail after a while, but I'm gonna go after a while on a movement that's been done today. That's the way it is when you come to a movement of God. When you got faith, you got to let know whatever you coming up against, it's got to make some movement, and you got to make some movement today. Somebody come up in the church and they acting a fool. The pastor. We just want to be peaceful and get along over here. If you don't mind, I appreciate if you wouldn't come up here and act a fool at us. That don't even sound like me, do it? When are you going to determine to let your mountain know you mean business? You ought to mean so much business that even if the devil come on your street, you open your door and he got sense enough not to come in. Because he know what's going to happen when he get up in there. We give too much room to other folk. I tell you what you do. Let's do this here. We got one little seed here, God. Okay? And we let all these other seeds come in. One little seed of God. And all these other seeds come in. And plant and grow and nurture. What happened to the seed of God? Satan is not impressed with what you hear tonight. He ain't impressed with that at all. He can't work the same time I'm working. He wait till you done got in the car. I said, okay, you been to church, huh? Let me talk to you. Let me rap to you. You remember what the doctor said? You remember what the doctor said? You remember what they told you at the bank? You remember what they told you? Remember what they said on your job? Remember what the x-ray said? That's what I want to remind you of. We ain't in church now. Reb ain't here. I'm talking. Walk in the bathroom, spit the blood out and say, I'm still healed. When you gonna get it? I still got favor. When you gonna get it? I'm still blessed. When you gonna get it? I'm still ahead and not the tail. When you gonna get it? God is still running things in my life. He's ruling. He's super ruling. When you gonna get it? I live on earth, but I operate in the heavenly atmosphere. When you gonna get it? I was tired the other night, and so what I did was I didn't have time to have no conversation. I just wrote it out, laid it on the table, and went to bed. Some stuff come to my mind, and I say, I ain't got time to deal with you tonight. I'm tired. Reggie, I'm finna go to bed. So instead of us going back and forth, I'm going to just write this out. You read it, and if you still here in the morning, we'll discuss it when I get up. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Good night. I'll holler at you in the morning if you're here. And I woke up in the morning, I said, where art thou? You listen, you got to learn to speak that which God spoke. God didn't do no deliberation. Whenever Satan tried to get God to enter a conversation, God spoke to Satan what was in the word. See, we speak a whole lot of stuff, but we don't speak what's in here. Chapter 4, right quick, and I want to close with this. Chapter 4, right quick, look at Matthew chapter 4, and Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4, he said it's what? That's all I got to say. Matthew chapter 4, verse 7. That's all I got to say. It's written. Verse 10. It is written. So whatever Satan tries to come at you, just give him what the word says. Well, all I know is God wants me to be in good health and want me to prosper. That's all I know. And if you know something else, you know that I don't want to hear that. Now the Lord said he was going, well, I'm going to take your house, I'm going to take your car, I'm going to cut your lights off, I'm going to cut your gas off, I'm going to cut your water off. Okay. What you got to say? The Lord said he's going to supply my need according to the riches are in glory. That's all I got to say. Ain't nothing else to say. When he done said something, it's been said. I'm going to fire you. I'm going to lay you out. Well, that's, my God shall supply my needs. That's all I know. You hear me? You feel me? Huh? Yeah. Quit going back and forth with all of that, wasting breath. Two things I can't get, breath and time. So I'm going to savage it. I ain't going to keep talking to folk about the same thing over and over again. I ain't going to do it. I'm calling you about your account, that your account is past due and such thing and such thing. I said, okay, you finished? Yeah. You told me why you called me, right? Yeah, okay. Blick up. What I'm going to talk about account that I ain't got? I ain't no veteran. Not a water. Now, if somebody from the street called me, I might have to answer that. But I ain't no veteran or no military. So what you doing, Carl? How you going to scare me and upset me about something that don't even fit to me? Well, I said, okay, this is my address. Didn't you just call me? Yeah, let me give you my address. I want you to come take it. I'll be right here waiting on you. What time you coming so I make sure I'm here? Because I want you to come take it. What you scared of? Don't you know the devil know when you scared? Devil know when you scared? I want to ask you this. I want you to read the Bible. This is your assignment. We're not going to have Bible study for the next 2 weeks, but for the first week after the first Sunday in January, I want you to bring back and find and want you to give me a report, and I want you to read how many times the devil scared Jesus. You simply have to have the God kind of faith. If you have guts enough to speak it, God can't bring nothing to existence that's not in you. If you don't believe that you can, you can't. You got to believe it. You ain't believing the power God gave you. Now, God said you can lay hands on the sick and they can recover. You gonna tell God he lying? Come on now, I'm just being simplicity. You gonna tell God said you lay hands on the sick and you lying. Well, you lying, I can't. The reason many times things don't happen because you don't believe. You don't believe it's going to happen. I ain't want to tell you this, but I ain't going to fool with that. We got to go. I dare you to have the God kind of faith. And things will change if you speak it, if you really believe it. Don't be Gentile. Don't look for no signs. Okay? Don't look for no. It don't have to have no signs for it to work. God just does it. And you just got to believe it. How many of y'all believe? How many of y'all believe fat meat is greasy? Believe fat meat is greasy? Okay. How many of y'all believe you got to learn how to multiply before you learn how to divide? Huh? You do? Yeah, that ain't what God did. God divided, then he multiplied. Because he's God. So don't try to operate on a human level when it comes to God. You got to operate on a in the heavenly realm, not on the earthly realm. Because God don't we are heirs of the kingdom. So we operate kingdomly, not earthly. We live on earth, but we operate by the kingdom principles. And that's why stuff don't work, because we got to learn how to know that they don't work in an earthly principle. They work in a kingdom principle. The kingdom is like. That's how I'm like, because I'm part of the kingdom. And the principles of the kingdom work for me because I belong to the kingdom. Any question? Any question? All right. Let me do this right quick. You can get ready to sign up for your tax statements, for the